Hmm. Good morning. Yes, the camera's there. So I'm about to get up, get me something to eat, do my regular weekend breakfast thing, and I'm gonna actually make a video for you guys just talking about this whole Donald Trump banning TikTok thing. And I don't know. I'm thinking about making a crazy title. I was thinking about. I don't know how I'm gonna title it, but I'm just gathering a bit more information before I make the video. I think that's what's gonna be on the plan today. So let's get up. I need to turn this AC off. So I guess I'll just try to talk about it really briefly. So should the United States ban TikTok? Okay, this is like multi-layered, right? So on one hand, it's not necessarily that the U.S. should ban TikTok, but I understand the frustration because there are a lot of companies, especially Chinese companies, who have firms in the United States that aren't, American run and operated or maybe American registered, but they're not hiring Americans, they're not partnering with Americans, they're just looking to produce, whether it's a software product or a retail product. If it's a retail product like a hard commodity, it's usually manufactured in China and then shipped to the United States. So depending on what kind of company it is, it may have registered. It may be registered in the United States or have like some subsidiary or an office in the United States. Now in TikToks, for TikTok, hold on, you guys. I'm gonna pause this, put on a shirt, and come back, and also put this phone on this tripod. All right, I'm back. I know y'all said this guy stay putting on, some type of tank top or something. Man, I live in a hot place, even though it's not hot today. It's gonna rain. We actually have a tropical storm coming in. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make some breakfast, and we can keep talking about this TikTok thing. So yeah, so I understand like the frustration because I mean it is like a thing, and a lot of people don't even really realize it. I know because as you guys know, I do a lot of work with Chinese companies and Chinese firms and all that kind of stuff. Um, and so I mean I just understand it a bit more. And also I lived in China for many years, so I see the difference between how people are doing business there versus how people are doing business here. And what I mean by that is the level of transparency that exists there versus companies that come here that want to present as American, but they're not American. Which I mean, it could be cool just to say, hey, we're not an American company, blah 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 blah. But the Chinese in a sense got the juice. So it's easy for them to go from place to place, creating new companies or creating new waves. Or if they see something that works in China, then they try to replicate that, in another country, right? So I get it. I get it. Now, do I think it's a good idea to try to ban them? No, not based on this. Like, I I know from something I just watched. I was basically watching an Al Jazeera piece that was saying, oh, Donald Trump wants to ban TikTok because TikTok will potentially influence the U.S. election coming up, the 2020 election, and I kind of see that, but I mean, banning TikTok isn't really gonna solve that problem of users or actual, I don't know, workers of social media platforms, it's not going to stop them from being able to put out bad information. And at the end of the day, as sad as it is, people have to fact check for themselves. But you know, we live in a world where humans tend to choose what they want to, you know, be accountable for. You know what I mean? So, you know, many people feel like I shouldn't have to fact check things that are coming through to me presented as news, whether it's, you know, on social media or if in a text article or whatever. I shouldn't have to be the one fact checking these companies that operate these news sources. They should fact check them before they put them out, which is a valid concern, you know, but or a valid point and a valid perspective to take. But it may put you in a bad position if you only wait for other people to tell you what's news and also what's reasonable, right? Yeah. So I ain't gonna lie though. Let me tell you what I thought. Initially, when I heard all of this, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he want to ban TikTok because TikTok, of course, doesn't have an office in the United States. You know, maybe like a real office or an office. I don't know. It's weird because here's the thing. They say there was no U.S. office, but TikTok had, you know, operations in the United States. Now, I don't know if they were being slick, and it's just like, you know, some building that they're paying for office space for, or you know, somebody's house or something, or I don't know how they have it set up, because you know, companies will say they have offices or operations in, you know, XYZ place, but that doesn't mean it's like some huge lavish office. And you know, it could just be a P.O. box or something like that. You know what I mean? That's possible. Now with TikTok, I'm not saying they only have a P.O. box. They probably actually do have like an office, you know. But you know, that's what I initially thought. I was like, oh, maybe they don't have an office in the United States and they're just kind of doing everything, you know, in proxy or something like that. Hold on, I'm taking another break right quick. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for like certain aspects of deregulation and, you know, putting more controls, especially on foreign controlled U.S. operations, and you know, I'm all for that. But this is a little, I don't know if this is the best decision, because I mean, TikTok probably not going anywhere, but also banning them won't solve that issue cyberly, because there are other websites where if they wanted to, you know, be one of the people we're trying to avoid as far as creating this fake news, or you know, misleading points, or targeting people who believe certain things and presenting a counter narrative to them that also may not be true. That's not going to stop, because you know, Facebook is still the largest playground for those types of things. And although I just saw in the video I was watching, TikTok has less monthly users than Facebook. It has more monthly users than Twitter, and of course more monthly users than Snapchat. So Snapchat has the least. Then we have Twitter. Then we have TikTok and Facebook. I think it's interesting that they didn't put Instagram in there, but I get it. But maybe Instagram is probably the numbers for Instagram are probably rolled into Facebook. That's what I'm thinking, because as you guys know, Facebook purchased Instagram years ago. So yeah, but I mean, me personally, I think tech companies in general just need like another wave of regulation, and we need to figure out what that looks like. But I don't know. Then again, I mean, there are many aspects of the United States governmental process, not election process, but just the general things we do, the way we our expectations for how the public engages with the government is very antiquated. And so you have, it may be better for us just to update the way we do things in government, rather than try to force cyber companies to bend to our will, if that makes sense, But anyway, both of those things are difficult. It is what it is. But I don't think this is necessarily a great idea just because it's not going to solve the issue now. Do I think it's a little political? Yes. But the problem is the people that probably would be willing to support this the way that it is, although it doesn't really make a lot of sense right now, are probably not even TikTok users. So there's that too. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching. Excuse me. I'm gonna be watching this. Let's see, and if I have anything more to add, I'll hop on and talk about some things. But those were just some quick thoughts. But I don't necessarily think it's a good idea because it's not going to solve the issue at hand. But I do see what I think he's trying to do as far as maybe set precedents that, hey, you can't just come here, open a company, or open some type of operation or launch some type of software, and the U.S. public makes it popular, or the U.S. public overwhelmingly uses it, or the U.S. public, or you're allowing the U.S. public to participate or operate or patron your operation, but none of the infrastructure is American. I see that, and I can see that being something people would get behind. But this is just the tip of the iceberg with things like that. As a supply chain manager, someone who works in consumer goods, I'm always telling people about like Amazon, for example. There are so many brands on Amazon that are totally like Chinese owned. They don't have any U.S. employees, but they work with Amazon FBA, and they just sell here. Now in China, what's happening? Years ago, you had factories, then you had distributors for those factories, right? And then retailers to sell those goods. Now all of that is sort of flattened because we have so much transparency and data movement, and people can talk. Like, I can have business meetings all the way here in the United States and share documents, etc., with someone who's in China or wherever my client is. So, things are just changing. Things are flat. So in China, you have a lot of manufacturers who are just they're skipping over distributors and retailers and everything. They're just selling straight to the customer. Because now, you can sell straight to the customer if you have a product that's in demand, because your customers can find you, right? Because it's e-commerce. So that's another issue. You have tons of Amazon brands that are essentially owned by manufacturers, right? And so that's the issue that nobody is talking about that. But I don't really know. I know there are things we should do something about it, but I don't know. Can we do something about it? Anyway, food for thought. We'll continue this and keep watching this, and I'm gonna get in here and actually cook breakfast. And peace. And like this video, share it, leave your comments, and we're gonna try to keep following this. But when I first saw this headline for this article with this whole Donald Trump preparing to ban TikTok, when I saw it yesterday or the day before, I thought it was gonna be something else. I thought he was gonna be coming from the perspective, they don't have any overwhelmingly majority U.S. employees, or it's not like a real office, and blah 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 blah. I thought it was going to be something like that, and then this is only going to be the beginning. Then he's going to sort of use a fine-tooth comb and comb through other aspects of business where that same model of inequity exists, where you have a foreign company operating in the United States but not really employing U.S. people or purchasing U.S. real estate, all that kind of stuff. All right, so peace out.